Good morning, good morning. This is Beth. Welcome to 4x8 Paper Stuff. We are working on cleaning up the mess I had yesterday and adding some more mess to it, as one does. That little glue stick, I've seen people use these lately. But, oh, well, I'll try one of these. Well, glad I didn't buy a big pack of them. Not my favorite thing. I like my Yoo-Hoo glue stick. So, I'm trying to clean up. Then I realized I put those pictures on the wrong thing. So now I have a little mess on my envelope. They're supposed to be over here. Yeah, not a fan of those. But anyhow, I tried it. I don't have to use it again. So that is the end of Killarney National Park's photos. And now I need to do all the writing still. And I'm going through and cleaning up a little bit of a couple pieces of paper here, a couple things. I'm trying to plan out what I'm going to do on here. It's food and shopping are going to go on those two places. So then I think, okay, I need to clean up my mess from where I ripped off the pictures, and now I ripped the paper a little bit. So I'm going through all my folders, kind of figuring out where I'm at, where I'm not at, pulling out the shopping receipts, a couple extra pieces of map pages that I had left, some painting, just kind of trying to weed down the ends of this envelope. Those little things came from For the Love of Journals, I think is the name of the shop in Washington State, Etsy shop. Anyhow, they're children's book pieces, and I added those, and I like that. And that one says picnic, so that's good for the food and shopping, as far as I'm concerned. And it covered up my mess from where I pulled off the pictures. So try to get all my shopping receipts out and little tidbits, things, tags off of those sweaters, some of the tags, because I sent some of the tags to California with the 2 birthday presents. And then I realized that one had a beautiful, like, Aran Island wool factory or something like that. And I wanted to keep that, maybe put that someplace else. And I'm cutting down my brochures to fit in the envelope. So now I'm deciding I want another little piece of background paper, and this is some of the green I've already done, and I made the mistake of watching Shannon Green in the middle of the night, and she had some old videos and circles. So then I thought, oh, I could do that with some of the greens that I have. So here I am doing it just like she did. Well, not as good as she did it, but hers were rainbowish. Mine are greens and gold, greens and orange. And I like how it turns out. It's perfect for what I'm going to use it for, just a background. I might cover it all up by the time I'm through. The scrap piece of paper is just as pretty as the other one. So I'm going to glue it a page at a time, and I don't put them back together the way they came apart, but that's okay. To me, that added a little bit of interest to it. But I'm going to pull all my lumpy bits out because it's too fat, on the left. I'm going to do a flip through since I haven't done one in a while, and I've been working on 3 or 4 pages at a time here. So let's see what I can do. I found this stamp in this little packet of travel stickers, which I don't know where I picked this up from. Probably Michael's. Years ago, 2014. But it's just little conversation travel stickers. And I might go through and put some more on here, but I found this one that says travel is my therapy. That definitely is. This is the friendship page, which I have not written about our friends because we went with a group of friends on this trip. All the plane travel and the stress of arriving late and our plane arriving late in a stuck airport time of like 2.5 hours. Dublin is where we flew in and out of. And it's a little bit about there's St. Patrick's Cathedral, a little bit of the pubs, Guinness, the doors, flying in from the airplane where Dublin is. And then this is going to be about Well, I was going to put an overall map of where we went. This is a deli paper background from Dublin across and then around and back to Dublin. The first night we stayed in Clifton in a castle, Abbey Glen Castle. That was cool. This is the sheep page. We did some sheep herding and watched a sheep wrangler. And I have wool because I did some sheep shearing. But I think I tucked it in my jewelry box for safekeeping, and now I can't find it. Does that happen to me all the time? It's tucked away for safekeeping. I even hid it from myself. I drew a little tiny... Oh, let me get closer. Sorry. That went dark all of a sudden. I didn't do anything. That ought to help too. I drew a little tiny sheep. Very, very elementary. In fact, I need to get out some more castles. Kong was our first full day, which I was weird that we're going to a town called Kong, but it was really cool. And what did I say Kong meant, Kurtie? I looked that up and I told everybody. 12th century old abbey here. John Wayne filmed a movie here. I love the street signs. That's why I cut these out and saved it. Took a picture. Bottle-fed lambs. This was a foggy day. And what did Kong mean? I wrote it down. Oy, oy, oy. Anyhow, it means something. So, this is the abbey in this little town called Kong. And then at our hotel, I drew a little tiny castle, the harp and the magic of the harp in Ireland, which I'm going to talk about. That's the front of that castle. My watercolor shape of Ireland, little sign that I made. Castle, Castle, Guinness, fish and chips. A little envelope I could tuck things into. The Burren, the Neolithic Rock of Ages. And I am going to go back and put a lot of clear packing tape on these hinges. I wrote a lot about it. I covered up the advertising and things like that on the pamphlet that I got from there. My pictures. Wild Atlantic Way, just a few little postcards that I picked up from our drive. Galway, where we ate lunch that day, McDonough's. The Spanish Arch in Galway is 1584. Town of the Red Earl, 1259. So much history. Pubs. I don't think you can go anywhere without talking about pubs in Ireland. And there's some receipts from pubs. Some of the places we ate. Ballyvaughan was our second night. At Monk's, that was delicious. The Rose of Tralee Festival. We went through the little town of Tralee, which was really cute. Tom Crean on our way to Dingle. Learned all about this Antarctic explorer and his pub, South Pole Inn. Dingle, when we got there, Fungi the dolphin. And I included this lady swimming sticker from Pear Tea Stickers because when I was there, you know how your Instagram, which is kind of all we had at times, was Instagram. We had some. Anyhow, Instagram told me, hey, this lady lives in Dingle. Would you like to follow her? You know how that happens. She swims in Dingle Bay when she's home, and she trains. She swam the border of Ireland. Crazy. She's training now for the Bering Strait swim. Crazy. This is the Dingle boat trip that we took out to see Fungi. That was cool. And the little town of Dingle was beautiful. Fungi was interesting, sad, and cool all at the same time. Just because I think they're he definitely enjoys the company or he wouldn't have stayed there, but they kind of corral him every day, several times a day, to come to the tourists, but whatever. They do not feed him. The Cliffs of Moher, I had to use postcards because it was foggy the day we were at the Cliffs of Moher. But later on that day, our guide, but maybe half an hour down the road, we came across some other cliffs, and she stopped, and we got to see those, which was cool. We stopped in the town of Kilkee for lunch that day, which is where Richard Harris was from. This is a statue of him, and he was a professional tennis player before he got into acting. On the way there, we went through Lahinch, which is where the British Open was the week before we got there. And the rest of our group was going to the Open, which is in Northern Ireland at, what was that town called? Anyhow, we crossed over the River Shannon in a ferry. Got stuck in traffic from a bike race. The significance of eagles in people's homes, and how the American relatives were sending money back to the Irish relatives that were still in Ireland and still starving. And in tribute, those relatives put eagles at the end of their driveways on fence posts to pay gratitude or whatever to the American relatives. All the writers that are from Ireland, Bram Stoker, James Joyce, C.S. Lewis, George Bernard Shaw, Samuel Beckett, Yeats, Oscar Wilde. Amazing. Killarney National Park, and the horse jaunting, and the house and the abbey that we saw there. The abbey's built around a huge yew tree. And then I'm getting into some of the history, and I wrote a history timeline on vellum, and I had to fold it to get it in here, which I'm not happy with that, so I might change that. I just made paper with all the words and things that happened on this trip. Sorry, my battery is not charged. I know people say that all the time, but it really isn't, and I forgot to plug it in. So I have it plugged in, but it just fell out. Anyhow, I got this little child's book plate from her picture, and it had a sign in it about picnics, so I thought that would be cool for my envelope. And it's from Just Fresh, my envelope, so that works. I've tried them. I'm finished with them. This is what I just did, and all my stuff is gonna, and some extra stuff has gone in here, but it's too thick because I'm getting lumpy on the left. You know how that happens. So this is going to be, what did I just pull out? I think we have the Blarney Castle, the Rock of Kesh, and Bantry Bay left. So that's going to go here. So I will have pages left over, but that's okay. And I don't feel the need to have to try to fill them. Maybe I'll take all that stuff that was going to go in that food envelope. I'm just left the receipts in there, but I might just tape them one at a time to these extra pages. But we're closing in on the... Now, I haven't done a lot of writing in here yet. I did in the beginning, so I have to go back and do a lot of the writing. Some of the things I just said to you. Castles. And I have drawings of castles. I need to get some more of them out. I hid them from myself. Again. I do everything and put them in here. Because now we're really going to be coming into some castles. The Rock of Kesh, the Blarney Castle, and... Well, Bantry Bay was not a castle. It was a huge, majestic home. But, it's coming along. And as I always do at the end, or close to the end, I'm starting to see the mishmash of all of it together, and I love that. Individually, some of these pages are not my favorites. And I've kind of did a junk journal smash book / scrapbooking. That's my style. And journaling. And I really like it. Even this crazy page, which is just a page. And food is going to go on here, which basically was fish and chips. Because I don't like Irish food. It's bland. Sorry, Ireland. I ate fish. We did have a good meal one night in the castle. Oh. Here's my... Oh. Before I start in on that other stuff, I have to do Glengariff Pier. Okay.
But the food was bland. And I think that's just the flavor that they like. And I've heard, like on Anthony Bourdain, may he rest in peace, I have heard over the years that they're getting a little bit more global in Ireland because of some of the technology that's gone there. And so they have stepped up their food game. But we were in more traditional pubs and things like that, so it's the same stuff. Bangers and mash, which is sausage and mashed potatoes. Turns out I don't like the green peas, the mashed greens, or green pea mash, or mashed pea, or whatever they call it. It's green peas mashed. Not a fan of green peas to begin with. And it tasted like they were like canned green peas, not even fresh. But this place had a ton of flowers, so all these pictures are flowers. Anyhow, so yeah, the food was not anything to and maybe perhaps if I had drank Guinness, which I don't like beer every night, it would have been better. I'm not saying I didn't eat. I've had much better food. I'm more of a Mediterranean food person. For sure. But that's okay. That's part of the culture, and I wanted to experience it. It's okay. Oh, Tales from the Paddleboard. I didn't take my camera. As usual, I should take it every time because the sunrise was gorgeous. But I counted my paddles, my strokes, a third of the way back, or maybe a quarter. It might have been about a quarter of the way back. And I did 525. No, 250-ish. So I'm thinking it's going to be about 1,000 for what I've done. Now, I keep trying to go a little bit farther every day. So my goal would be to do about 3,000 by the end of August, which means go around our entire cove maybe twice. I don't know. I don't want to get out, even though it's super early in the morning. I don't want to get out in any other water. Number one, the water's rougher, and if I have my camera, I would not like to take those chances. Number two, there's boats, and I'm a little person, height-wise, and I'm sitting on the paddleboard. I'm not standing because I don't have good enough balance, and I don't want to take my camera into the water because I'm using my iPhone. So I might have to do the loop of our cove twice. If I can do that twice by the end of August. No, I can't do that by the end of August. We're already on like the 9th, isn't it? Yeah, it's Friday for me, Saturday for you. So anyhow, sunrise was gorgeous. The sky was pink and blue. Blue, baby pink. It was gorgeous. And fluffy white clouds. Just amazing. So anyhow, that's it. See you all tomorrow. Bye.